Welcome to the Business News Podcast with Zach and
Adam. We're live. We're live.
Episode 2.
Here's what we do on this show. We read some pretty riveting, good word. We read some riveting news articles, the most important news of the week that you're going to want to know about, and then we talk about it. I guess that's about it. That's about all we do. We read the news articles and we talk about them so that you can be more well-informed. And we try to be as thought-provoking as we possibly can, philosophical, hilarious.
It's like watching the movie Jaws, but for business news.
It's basically like if super smart people who are also super funny read news articles and then told you about them.
It's as if. It's almost that.
It's very similar to that. It's almost like two guys are sitting in a conference room with gray construction paper hung up on the wall behind them so that the background looks good. It's almost as if those guys, who are both super handsome, super smart, super funny, great personalities, charismatic, it's as if they had read 5 articles.
Washboard abs.
Washboard abs, just good hair.
Great hair.
Mostly. Or a dude with very little hair and he's got light shining off his dome as he is sitting in front of a video.
Just funneling their voice into one microphone.
Just thrilling you with tales and stories of news and stuff that's going on that you're going to want to know about.
Beautiful. Yeah. So let's get started with it.
So Zach's the curator of the articles. So again, he chose 5 articles for us. And without further ado, we're going to get into it.
Local business news curator.
All right, so this is on Fox Business, the first one. The author, Angelica Stabile. We always got to do it with an Italian accent. Angelica Stabile.
Yes.
I'm curious to know what other articles she has written. So here's what she dug up. She did some research.
She's been working on this for at least a day, maybe 2.
It's kind of funny how, how do they come up with this? Some of these other articles, I kind of get it, but this one is, I don't know why you would research it. But anyways, turns out that 90% of consumers use the internet to find local businesses, many have no websites. That doesn't sound right to me.
It doesn't make sense. I feel like every small business is like, all right, we're opening up. Let's make a website.
I feel like that's the first thing that you do, although it's kind of a boss move to not have a website. It's like, hey, where can I check out your website? I don't got one because business is overflowing.
Yeah, you got to find me.
Yeah, I got so much business that I don't tell people about what I do. Yeah, you call me. You pick up your phone and you call me. Or better yet, you come see me in person.
You leave a voicemail, I'll get back to you in 3 weeks.
Yeah. So this got me thinking a little bit about my website, and this is not the plug, but you might check us out at ibassbusiness.com if you need a
that was not a plug. ibassbusiness.com.
It's a pretty simple website, but how long does it take you to put up a website? Just a second. Like, it really does not take very long at all to get a website set up. At the very least, you could just go into GoDaddy, use their website builder, and just do it like that, right?
Just throw it right up there.
All right, so here's the question that I got, dude. And this is a real question I got for you because you're younger than me. Do you still check out people's websites to try to get information about the service that you're considering? I mean, because this got me thinking about, like, even though everybody has a website, are websites irrelevant now? I'm starting to feel like they are. I don't remember the last time I was thinking about getting something and I went on somebody's website and I read all about them. When was the last time you actually did that?
You would just buy it like straight off Amazon or whatever?
Or just go to the Google reviews or whatever. Like, if the reviews are good, I'll just go straight to the contact us page. Like, have you gone onto a website and read like about the owner's background or the story or hey, meet the team? And it's like, hey, Jim's smiling on there and he's got an MBA and it's all like it's all very generic. Like anything anybody says about their business is the exact same stuff.
It's all the same.
That every single other competitor is also saying about their business.
What's the difference?
So I'm wondering if websites actually are totally antiquated. Like, I don't know. Like, you might need to just have one, but I don't think it matters what you actually put on it.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I would find like useful for a website now is like if you sell stuff, e-commerce,
like an e-commerce thing, right? And I know. So we got a ClickFunnels account. So ClickFunnels is a software that lets you put up web pages, but the rationale behind ClickFunnels is that you shouldn't just put up a website. Your website should be like a sales pitch. You should be trying to sell people or get them to take some kind of action rather than just presenting like generic information about your company. Because all companies say the same stuff about themselves. We're awesome. We got great customer service.
Yeah.
Our prices are fair.
You got to get to the point more now. Just lay it out in the line, and
yeah,
you click the button, you do whatever you.
Yeah, and
it's got to be done.
And honestly, I have seen some certain businesses online, like when we need to hire a plumber. Actually, that's not a good example because I got a buddy's a plumber. Let's see. When we're going to buy new windows for our house.
There you go.
All right, we're going to buy new windows for our house, and that's a pretty big job. We ended up paying like $15,000 to install all these new windows in our house. I didn't even check out the website. I just read the reviews. That's it. All I read was the reviews.
Yeah.
So as long as you got reviews, I don't think a website really matters at all. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree.
All right, and then this is another thing that this says here. 29% of business owners say they plan to improve their website this year over other methods of marketing like social media, but 70% of small businesses said they will invest in social media, which is the most highly successful method in marketing. How do they get these stats? We talked about it.
Knows?
We talked about it before, like with Apple, and they're like,
how do they know this stuff?
Who did she talk to?
Yeah, it's like I project I'm going to make $30 billion this year.
So I noticed that she says 29%. All right? 29% of business owners say they plan to improve their website. So that would lead me to believe that they probably talked to at least 100 people. And 29 said that.
29.
I guess you could go 50, but if you're at 50, you would need like...
A few limbs to disagree.
You need 14 and a half people to say it. And you can't get a half person unless you got midgets or something like that in there. But that doesn't really count as a half person. In size, they're half the size of a regular person.
But their brain is
it the same size? Are there any genius midgets?
Actually, their heads are normally a normal size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they count, obviously, they'll count as one person. So that doesn't work for the sake of this. Look, we're not trying to talk bad about midgets.
No,
forget that last,
there's a bunch of midgets that are like famous actors and stuff.
Yeah, they seem pretty...
They're all there.
Are those guys midgets or dwarves? There's a difference between midgets and dwarves.
Dwarves, aren't those like Middle Earth? Like
No. I mean, yes, they are. But I think, at least my understanding is that a midget has a normal sized torso, but smaller legs, whereas a dwarf or a little person is proportional.
Interesting.
But they're just small.
Wow.
I think that's the situation.
Craziness.
Yeah. All right. But anyways, though, going back to what you were saying, yes, I think midgets are of normal intelligence.
Oh, absolutely.
And also, you want to know something pretty peculiar? We're going off track and talking about midgets. I'm pretty sure, like, if two midgets get married and have a child, like, the child will be of normal size.
Oh, it's like multiplication? Like two negative...
No, I don't think that's how it works. I don't think it's something that's hereditary.
It's not a hereditary.
I don't think it's a hereditary thing, and necessarily it might be like a gene mutation or something like that. Oh, but I just want to say one other thing. This article is on Fox. We talked about it before. This article is on Fox Business, and the Fox Business readers are so partisan Republican. Like, do you know anybody who's like super political?
I do.
Do you? Man, super political people are funny. Like, no matter whatever it is, like you go to the restaurant, and instead of bringing you ice cold water, they bring you like some just lukewarm, like room temperature. Like, dang commies! Like these socialists are ruining America. I was like, this has nothing to do with Democrats. And I was just noticing on this Fox News website, like, people are commenting about this, and one guy says, I certainly am glad that I worked in a small family corporation from 75 to 99. No Google, no Facebook, no social media for me. The only group fighting for us was NFIB. I don't know what that is.
Oh,
also,
I know what NFIB is.
Earned all capital letters. I earned my SSDI, and now SSI, I'm being retired. That's Social Security. I earned it because I paid into the system. All right? Because I'm an American. I'm a hardcore, old school American. And now the Democrats want to give illegal aliens free health care? The only advice I could give younger people is to go to a vocational school and learn a trade because college is for snobs. That has nothing to do with the article. Has nothing to do with the article.
Websites at all.
Yeah, so on Fox News, people are just lashing out in the comment section regardless. Have you ever heard the expression, when you hammer, everything looks like a nail?
No.
It's kind of, now you've heard it.
Wow.
When you hammer, it's like, if you're a chiropractor, like, everything could be fixed with an adjustment.
Yeah.
And if you're a hardcore partisan political person, everything, all problems, even small businesses not having a big enough web presence can be blamed on the opposing political party.
It's direct connection.
Yeah, oh, yeah. In their mind, it is. In their mind, it is. So,
yeah. One more thing about this, like I was totally confused what the difference between like social media marketing and digital marketing.
Oh, so I guess wouldn't social media be a type of digital marketing?
That's
and
it.
digital marketing
yeah,
would just be everything.
Bingo.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's goes back to the hitting the nails with the heads.
It would be good to know how to sell stuff on social media. I would like to figure that out. Like how to actually
besides using
sell
like
thing. I've sold
ads.
Like how to actually run a successful ad campaign. I've tried it a bunch of times. I don't know how to do it. I've taken lessons. I've taken classes. I cannot figure out how to do it. If you're listening to this and you know how to actually sell stuff on social media, like running Facebook ads or whatever, ibashbusiness.com. Submit the free consultation form, even though you're not wanting to get a free consultation with me, and then let's chat because I might hire you to do social media campaigns for me.
Job offer on
Just job offer,
Business News Podcast.
Yeah.
I can never get that name right.
You should be able to say it right. It's a pretty straightforward. It's the news podcast
yes,
for business.
News.
All right. All right. Let's go on to the next one.
Yeah, next one. Under Armour.
Under Armour suffers another blow.
So if you're wearing Under Armour right now, you listen up.
Have you bought any Under Armour stuff?
I think I have.
I bought a pair of Under Armour shoes that lasted for a long time.
Honestly, I think I've only ever bought Under Armour stuff at secondhand stores.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever bought a new Under Armour.
You can get anything at secondhand stores, though, so that doesn't speak poorly to Under Armour, right? You can get Nike apparel in a secondhand store as well.
I have.
Have you? Yeah. So,
yeah.
Under Armour, don't feel bad that people are buying your stuff at a thrift store. It's cool. Everything ends up over there.
Everything.
There was one thing on this article I've never heard of. Have you heard of Lululemon? Is that what it's called?
Lululemon.
Lululemon.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do this. Title: Under Armour suffers another blow in heated retail contest.
Yeah, the contest for athletic wear. Customers left the once high-flying Under Armour dented and bruised.
Dented and bruised. That can't be good.
Well, I just want to point out something. Whoever wrote this is mixing metaphors. Do you know what it means to mix a metaphor?
Like,
so
you're like mixing two metaphors into one.
So, dented.
You're missing.
Dented is something that would happen to like a car,
right,
or whatever. Bruised is something that happens to human beings. There would be no single thing that you could both dent and bruise.
Well, what if he was a cyborg?
Do cyborgs bruise? I mean, I think bruising has to do with blood. Do cyborgs have blood coursing through their body?
Well, cyborgs are part organic and part mechanical.
What part of them is mechanical?
What if he's got a mechanical arm?
Would it get it could get dented?
Yeah, imagine you get hit by a truck.
Cool. So that would mean that the author in this metaphor
is indubitably
saying that Under Armour, the company, is a cyborg. Is a cyborg. So if that's the case, I feel like that could help them generate some business and get back ahead.
Have that guy as like your spokesman?
I would just roll the cyborg out. Always.
Bring him out.
Just be jumping at like
Super Bowl commercials.
Can cyborgs jump super high? That's what I would do. I would put Under Armour shoes on the cyborg and have him just jump like 20 feet straight up in the air. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a machine, that's what you get the machine to do, to be able to jump super high, and you just cover it with skin.
Put some rocket boosters.
Yeah, put the Under Armour shoes on them. So I had Under Armour shoes. I remember Steve Kerr. Was it Stephen Curry? Stefan, the famous basketball player, Curry. You know who it is. He plays for the Golden State Warriors.
Curry.
Stephen. He was an Under Armour guy. So that's why I bought the shoes, because I was like,
you're like, that dude's cool.
That guy's really cool. I mean, I don't know if he's cool in real life, but he's a pretty cool basketball player.
I mean, Curry is a good last name.
Is it?
It sounds good. I mean, I like Curry.
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess if you hate Curry, then...
What do you like more, Curry as a last name or the food Curry?
Oh, absolutely Curry.
The food?
Yeah.
Better than the name?
Yeah.
So if we had to get rid of all of one or the other, we get rid of the last name Curry. No one can have it.
Obliteration.
Or we get rid of the food Curry. What do you get rid of?
The last name.
For sure, right?
Not even a doubt.
Not even a doubt. So Stephon Curry would have to be called something else.
All right. So basically, we've got Under Armour. They have not done the whole athleisure wear thing where Lululemon and Nike have.
So it mentions here that Lululemon has been a key beneficiary of the shift to workout gear that can be worn straight from work to the yoga studio or the gym, known as athleisure wear? Is that a thing?
It totally is a thing.
What do you mean? What kind of clothes can you wear to work that you would just wear straight to the gym? Give me an example. Like basketball shorts or something? Or is this for women, like yoga pants?
It's mostly for women.
Yoga pants? But that's not appropriate to wear to work. You're supposed to be wearing yoga pants to work.
Maybe not at
IBAS.
At IBAS Business Solutions.
You're dang right, man. I don't appreciate that at all, dude. I do not appreciate that whatsoever. You wear loose fitting clothing when you come into IBAS. I want to see nothing revealing. I don't appreciate that, dude. Honestly,
he doesn't appreciate.
I don't. I really don't, man. I'll just tell you something. I'll just talk about this. I don't care. This is something that should be talked about. People need to speak up about this. All right, women. It might be comfortable or whatever. It's too revealing. I feel like it's too revealing. I feel like the yoga pants are too revealing. Maybe that's making me like an old fuddy-duddy or some kind of old conservative or something like this. But it's not cool. Like if you're at the mall. Or work is a good example. Like you're just sitting there trying to type, and like some girl walks by in yoga pants, like, and she does yoga, so she's like all fit. It's like I'm trying to work. Like I'm not trying to look at women while I'm here. Same thing. Like if you're at the mall, you're just trying to mind your own business, like hang out with your family, and like women are just walking by in super tight fitting attire.
Yeah,
it's really not that cool. It's kind of a spectacle. And if you're trying to be like respectful to your wife and not like look at other women,
right.
You know, it puts you in a bad spot.
There you go.
Not even because you're going to look, but just like they walk by, you're a statue. You're just like, no, I'm not looking. But your wife looks and sees it, and she's like, what are you looking at? It's like, I'm just looking straight ahead. They walked through my field of vision. I mean, I saw them. I was not looking at them. But it just messes up everything.
Absolutely.
For dudes who are trying to be respectful and not just like fully ogle women. All right, so anyhow.
But
Nike's the best, right? Don't you think so?
Yeah,
Nike's the best company.
Yeah.
You like Nike?
Yeah. Did you hear about that shoe that they built that was like banned from marathons because it was too good?
How? No. Tell me about that.
So they put like this carbon fiber plating basically. Uh-huh. So it basically, it's like this little boat and it like propels you forward.
Why is that? What's wrong with that? How come they wouldn't let people use that? If everybody's allowed to use it.
It was like a cheat.
It sounded like it felt like a cheat, huh?
Well, at least the organizers are like,
the governing body.
Good.
It's too good. All right. I mean,
but fastest marathon was timed with that shoe.
With that shoe, have you ever read the book Shoe Dog by Phil Knight? The Nike.
I think I missed that one.
That's a good book, dude. And that makes me love Nike. And you know what else I like about Nike? Have you gone into a Nike store?
Yeah.
Like in the mall? Dude, it is happening in there. It is. It's jamming in. It's cooking, dude. It's like a party in there.
It's like an insane curry restaurant.
It's not like that. Man, that reminds me, dude. I once went to an Indian food restaurant, and it's in where we live. There's a lot of Indian people where we live.
Yeah.
But there's more English speakers, and those guys did not speak a lick of English. And I just like, what? I was looking at the menu, like, what is this? He's like, he sets up and he's like trying to speak English, but he couldn't speak it that well. And like, would me and my family like that? Like, we're just white people, like we don't like too much spice. He's like, so anyways, I bought whatever the thing was. Terrible.
Really?
Not what I wanted. Not what I wanted at all. It would have been nice if they had some English translations on the menu.
Yeah.
Everything was in
I went to an Indian restaurant this weekend, but I had Indian friends who were like, yeah, put this with that, and it was so good.
That's the way to go.
Super good.
What spice level do you get when you go to an Indian restaurant?
Like medium.
That's ours.
Everywhere.
The middle? Is that the middle, or is that like on a scale of 1 to 5, you just go 3? Is that medium?
I mean, it was a buffet. It's not like you pick a number.
Okay, you're on an Indian buffet. Nice. So I would just say this. There was actually some good stuff in here that I noticed also was that they talked to the CEO and the CEO was like real open about what problems the company was facing.
Oh, yeah.
And then they had some financial analysts down below. And the financial analysts were saying that even though the company is having a hard time going through a hard run, they really like that the management is being transparent. They know what their problems are. And they're trying to move the company in the right direction. So there's a little lesson there too to just like really recognize what your own weaknesses are, and not be afraid to be transparent about it and work on improving it.
Yeah, and I guess like the previous management was not transparent.
Yeah.
What's the other word? Oblique?
Yeah, opaque.
Opaque.
Yeah.
Oblique's a whole different thing.
I don't know. We should Google oblique. But I know opaque is what you're going for. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were probably before they're like, no, things are great. Like never better. Things are going awesome. Meanwhile, like I mean, they got to put their publicly traded company. What's oblique?
Oblique, neither parallel nor at a right angle to a specified or implied line.
Yeah.
Slanting.
I guess you could probably make it work, but I don't know. Oblique, I don't think
it covers this.
Yeah.
We sat on the. I don't even know what that word is. SETI with 2 T's and 2 E's.
Slanting? Where were you
We
looking at?
sat on the SETI. Oblique.
I don't know. But there's one other thing I noticed here is that like one of these financial advisors who analyzes companies says the focus on performance differentiates it from competitors that are more focused on fashion. International and footwear remain promising and largely untapped growth opportunities. That's interesting that footwear is considered a largely untapped growth opportunity because there's so many shoes.
We gotta open a.
There's so many types of shoes. Like what untapped opportunities could there be? Doesn't Nike like fill
all of them?
Every single niche? What kind of shoes you got on?
These are Cole Haans.
Cole Haans.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just bought some Cole Haans for my sons as well.
Nice.
Yeah, some dress shoes.
Gonna be some styling kids.
All right, Cole Haans. All right, not bad. So it's interesting that footwear. I mean, international. I understand. Like, there's a lot. We were just talking about Indians. Like, there's a lot of Indian dudes that want to buy some athletic gear. I'm sure they already have it. And but I would imagine you get Under Armour over there. They'll be into that. Stephon Curry. No, they probably because Curry. They probably like Stephon Curry because the word Curry in his name.
Yeah.
That's a natural.
Probably like something they look up on Instagram or whatever. It pops right up.
That's a natural. They're Googling Curry. It's like Stephon Curry. Under Armour. But that's interesting that these guys would consider a market, which I would consider to just like be totally inundated with too many options to be an untapped growth opportunity.
So there you go.
All right, man.
Well, I guess we're opening up a shoe store if you want to buy some shoes. Adam and I designed them ourselves.
Dude, you don't want me designing your shoes. I'm like the least stylish guy ever. But maybe you. I mean, you're kind of like got a cool hipster vibe. I remember that one day you came in here, you wearing pants that were too small.
They're not too small. I rolled these up.
You rolled them up. Yeah, they're rolled up. So you would be a good guy to design shoes because you got the cool pants rolled up, the look. And I think people would like your shoes.
All right. Well.
All right.
Number 3 here. Big trace.
Microsoft has announced a 5-year, $1.1 billion investment plan in Mexico to develop training programs and increase the availability of cloud computing services. All right, Microsoft.
That's a boatload of money.
It is. I wonder if it is like if that amount of investment in Mexico, because Mexico's a pretty big country.
That's true.
I wonder if $1 billion investment actually even means anything.
Meanwhile, Apple's projecting like $300 billion in whatever revenue.
Somewhere in here. Oh, we were talking about when we get to that article about the coronavirus.
Oh yes.
It talks about Apple a little bit and the fact that they sell so much in China. That was a good add-on. But so this is cool for Mexico now. President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador. That's a bunch of names.
That's a serious name.
Yo, Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador. Get rid of one of those names, dude. All right, get it with the paradigm.
A little acronym.
MALO. Malo. No.
AMLO.
AMLO. Yeah.
AMLO.
It'd be funny if it was Manuel Andres Lopez Obrador. Malo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would have to pause the podcast.
So this is interesting. He says it
is.
showed the confidence investors have in Mexico following the ratification of the U.S.-Mexico-Canada Free Trade Agreement. So
there you go.
That's NAFTA. I think that's NAFTA, or if there's a new free trade agreement. If there was a new free trade agreement, that would have happened under Trump. And I know Mexico and Trump are beefing, but now something good is happening, and now Mexico's...
Now things are just rolling.
Now good stuff is happening, and they're getting big investments by Microsoft. In Mexico, we know a lot of people who are from Mexico.
Correct.
I think Mexico is a great country. I mean, my understanding is that Mexico culturally is a super good country, great food, great music. The people are tremendous. I mean, I love Mexican people. You like Mexican people?
Yeah, they can do anything. They're jacks of all trades.
Yeah, they're super smart. They're super interesting, lovely people. But the stuff that's going on in Mexico now is really terrible. One of our good friends who actually works for our company lives in Mexico. She's moving back to the United States, but she's originally from a small town that has always been peaceful. A very peaceful small town. The region is oil producing. And so since everything's just falling apart and it's turning into anarchy in Mexico because of the drug cartels, cartels are coming into her city, and I think they're like tapping oil pipelines and just stealing all the oil.
Really?
They just steal the oil.
And put it in a truck or what?
I don't know what they do with it. Yeah, they must put it in the truck.
Just funnel it?
Just bring their cars over and just park them next to the oil and just like put it in their car. Just drive away. It's like, free oil. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
They're doing something. They're pilfering. They're pilfering the oil.
Any relation with Pillsbury?
I don't think so, but it's interesting that you bring up the Pillsbury thing. I'm going to come back to that. All right. But this is the other thing I want to put. So, like now in the little town that she's from, in the public markets, they're actually like openly assassinating people because the cartels want to dominate the region because they want to steal all the oil. Sucks, man. That really sucks.
Yeah. Like
people just get their heads cut off in the market and stuff. It's grisly.
Oof.
It's really grisly. And so people, like when they want to go to religious services, they got to leave their they can't bring any electronics with them in the street whatsoever because you will definitely get robbed. 100% certainty you will get robbed. So it sucks, man.
Yeah, that's
so right. I don't know, man. That would be the one thing if Bill Gates isn't the CEO of
Bill Gates.
Who's the dude now? He's an Indian guy. He's a real cool guy.
Satya Nadella or something like that.
That guy. If you would have asked me about his investment in Mexico, which he probably would have appreciated my advice.
Yeah.
Because I'm so good at business.
And news and podcasts.
Yeah, all that stuff. I would have said, hey, man, I'd think twice about that. People get their heads cut off in the street. I wouldn't do that. All right, so here's the thing I want to tell you about the Pillsbury. You remember the Pillsbury commercials?
With the little white dude that just kind of bounces around.
Yeah, and they tickle him at the end. And
he's like a miniature Michelin. You know the Michelin tire? Yeah. He's a small little baby version.
He's like a baby version or like the Michelin Man. That could be his son. Is the Pillsbury Doughboy. All right. I'd rather hang around the Pillsbury Doughboy than the Michelin Man.
It's better than tires.
Yeah, but also the Michelin Man is like pretty big, strong, kind of weird looking guy.
Yeah,
with all the folds and stuff.
Yeah, folds.
Yeah,
he's always chasing tires.
Who came up with that guy? Why did they make him like that?
Who knows?
Yeah, no one knows.
Nobody knows.
There's no way to know.
Maybe nobody came up with it. It just kind of originated on its own.
Maybe it's just a real thing, and they just discovered him. They didn't create him; they discovered him.
They enslaved him.
And now they're making new commercials.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, look at that! Look at that weird. What would he even be? A person or an animal? Alien?
He would have to be an alien.
Yeah, it's like, hey man, look at that alien.
That dude would not be happy about the health care for this Michelin dude.
Why not? Oh, that guy.
The guy on Fox News.
Do aliens need health care? I don't know that aliens need health care.
I would assume that they're like under a different jurisdiction,
Yeah, our medicine probably doesn't work on that.
It doesn't work for them.
So they're probably, but he probably doesn't like anybody coming from other places. Though.
Absolutely not.
I know he hates immigrants.
I know he would hate them.
I know that guy hates immigrants. So
this guy's probably just sitting on his couch watching Super Bowl, and here comes Michelin Man.
But at least the Michelin guy is gainfully employed, but I don't know, he might be a slave. So, he might be enslaved.
So what's the Pillsbury thing?
Oh, yeah. But anyways, go back to I know you're trying to get me off the topic, but for the Michelin Man, I hope he's not enslaved. I hope he's free, and he's just doing that of his own will.
Yeah, so Michelin, if you have any comments on this, leave us an email.
Submit a free consultation on the website.
Yeah, just punch it in.
I'll understand that we're not doing accounting, just put I'm the Michelin Man on there. And then we'll just do whatever we can to assist.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So, the Pillsbury Doughboy thing. My oldest son Isaiah is 7, and he's getting a little chubby. He's just getting a little chubby. And I showed him the video of the Pillsbury Doughboy. He's big, dude. And now every time I want to make him laugh, I go over to him and I go, whoo-hoo! And I go one finger and I give him a little tickle on the tummy.
Nice.
Sometimes he likes it. Sometimes it pisses him off. Yeah. All right. There you go. Good times. All right. If somebody did that to you, how would that make you feel? If your dad did it?
Now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty weird now.
Yeah. Would it piss you off, or would you just feel it was kind of weird?
I'd just be weird. What are you doing?
You wouldn't get angry?
No.
You would be like, hey, stop that right now.
I'd probably give him like a fake, sock him in the stomach kind of thing.
What if you did it to him? Would he be weird? Would he feel weird about it? Or would he like it?
I don't even think he'd know how to react.
Yeah, he wouldn't laugh or anything.
Sure.
It'd be super awkward silence. Like, dude, why are you touching my belly button?
Yeah, it'd be weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
It'd be weird.
It's weird
yeah, for sure.
But I do it to him.
He's like 7, and I'm like not 7, so.
No, you're not. But still, sometimes dads and sons do stuff to each other, and it's funny,
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
my dad and I like punch each other and
There you
stuff.
go. It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, man.
All right.
So let's check
There
out
it
the
is.
next article. Airline passengers. You go ahead. Read it. Introduce it.
Airline passengers put up with more and longer flight delays.
Airline
Flight
passengers.
delays are the worst.
So I think it said here like only 1 in 30. Did it say 1 in 30,000? No. Oh, this is bumping. So I feel like the
That's
last
the worst. You
I
just
feel
keep
like-
it off.
like 2 out of the last 4 flights that I've gone on have been I've gotten in a weird delay or they got canceled.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah, we did some flights to Europe and then Ecuador, and like at least once on every trip there's like some delays. There's
Yeah.
always
So both times with us, we
Issues.
ended up sitting on the runway for like an hour because there was some maintenance thing that they didn't pass an inspection or something,
yeah.
and they had to bring a part, and it just took forever. But you shouldn't really complain about anything having to do with airplanes. So when your planes are running late, you start to get grumpy or get in a bad mood or something.
Yeah, I mean it's just like such an inconvenience, you know.
So it's actually a miracle that we can fly all over. So many people fly. There's so many airplanes.
So many.
The fact that they do a decent job at all, here it says 79% of domestic flights last year arrived within 15 minutes of the airline schedule. That's pretty impressive when you consider how many people fly. You need to have some perspective, Zach. You need to have some perspective.
I don't even want it.
You know how long it used to take? Where'd you go? Ecuador?
Ecuador.
You know how long it used to take to get to Ecuador from the United States?
Like on a boat. Like
Yeah, that would be the only way. How else could you get there? You just have to go on a boat. I guess you
it
could
takes
just
forever.
I guess but I don't know if there's a road. I guess you could try to drive through Mexico, down through Central America, cross the Panama Canal, go through Colombia, and work your way down to Ecuador in a car, or on a motorcycle,
On a duck.
on a duck.
Not
a
like
huge
a-
duck.
Yeah, like the ones in Seattle that crash.
Yeah, but that's a boat, right?
It's a boat and you can drive with
So
it.
you drive as far as you can,
And you just boat the rest of the way.
and then when it's like you're on a road, you just go to the
You
beach.
you boat.
You boat
drive back
down the
on.
coast. Yeah.
But that would still take you a long time.
I'm thinking it would at least take you many, many months. I think to go on a boat, like it must take many weeks to get there in a boat. So we shouldn't complain about stuff that's actually a miracle. Like, who cares if you lose 3 hours? Is it really a big deal?
I guess not.
No.
Because even if you do miss it, they'll get you a new.
And what were you doing while you were waiting? Just sitting there, like.
Sitting there. There's nowhere to even sleep or anything. That's what I hate about it.
Yeah, but did you have your phone? Oh, you had to actually sleep.
It's like night. I've been up for like 24 hours.
Oh yeah, that's kind of rough.
Yeah.
So when we were gonna go to Peru, like we had our kids with us, little kids.
Mm-hmm.
We sat and the kids were all excited, like, we're flying, we're going on an airplane. It's like, yeah, kids, it's going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
We got on the airplane, they're like, when are we taking off? I'm like, very soon. And they're just staring out the window. They're like, are we going to be taking off soon?
It does take so long when you're on the plane. Like to actually take off, it feels like forever.
We were sitting there for like 3 hours.
Oh my
And the dude, the captain's like, no worries, everybody. Everything's cool. We're going to be taking off in just a second. It's like, Captain says we're going to take off, kids. Don't worry about it. Then like 15 minutes later, he's like, we've got a slight delay. We're just doing a couple of routine repairs on the plane. We'll be taking off in just a second. It's like he did that every 15 minutes for like 3 hours. And then at the end, he's like, yeah, everything's all messed up. We're not going to be flying. I'm like, dude.
Really? You had to get off?
Yeah, we had to get off. And we slept in the airport because the next replacement plane was
my god.
we had left at like 5 in the morning. It didn't even make sense for us to leave.
Ugh.
But they should have let us, if they know it's not going to work, let us off after 15 minutes. Don't make us sit on the plane for a super long time. Anyways,
Yeah.
But even so, the fact that we slept in the airport and still got to go to Peru in like record time, that was still pretty good. And airplane travel is getting way nicer. Every
Yeah.
airplane pretty much has movies now.
True.
What kind of movies you watch? You on the airplane?
Anything new?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of like the whole.
You watch a violent movie or a horror movie or something like that on the airplane? I remember, man, on airplane, sometimes I see dudes they got horror movies on the airplane.
Yeah, it's true, they do.
Sometimes I see a dude just watching a horror movie on the airplane. Like there's little kids walking by and stuff. You know, like some super like rated R, like movie with sexy stuff in it, and dude's just watching it like normal. I'm like, you're in public, man.
Yeah, it is weird.
Have some couth. You know that word?
No.
Have some couth, man. Have some awareness of your surroundings.
Oh, awareness of your surroundings.
Yeah. Or people just get super drunk on the airplane.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never seen that happen.
Oh, yeah. People get drunk on airplanes.
What?
I'm going to tell you a story here real quick. This is sort of embarrassing. Actually, I'm not going to tell a story because we're going to be posting this stuff.
Yeah, we're going to be posting this
on LinkedIn. But anyways, I got a couple of funny airplane stories. Did you ever travel by yourself on an airplane when you were a little kid?
I did not.
My parents used to send me all over the country by myself when I was like 6. I had family in other parts of the country. They would put me on an airplane when I was 6 by myself.
That's
and then the other people would come pick me up at the airport. You never did anything like that? I think kids used to do that a lot more.
I think so.
Previously.
Yeah.
You done any boat travel?
Boat travel. I've done cruises.
All right,
I don't know if that really.
All right, how's that?
Counts.
You like that?
Yeah, I like cruises.
Yeah?
You get unlimited food.
So you just pick out or what?
Yeah, I just eat much food.
That sucks for the dads. Dads who got guts. Like dads are a mess with their guts. They always fight like not having a gut. But you on a cruise, it's all.
But you
over.
know what else I love about cruises is every evening there's like some sort of like either a comedy show or aerobics or something. I mean, it's not that great 'cause it's on a cruise ship.
Aerobics, yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, like a comedy show or a concert or like aerobics. Awesome, dude.
It is terrible.
Like, dude, all the food you could
it's
eat.
So fun.
Like movie theater on there, like
there is
aerobics. Yeah, I know, that's funny. So it's funny that you would throw aerobics in there as an example of like why cruises are awesome. It's like, yeah. All right. Anyways, that makes me not want to go on a cruise if I have to do aerobics. All right.
All right. You know what I found hilarious about this article was that Spirit Airlines has the highest amount of complaints filed to the government.
Have you gone on Spirit Airlines?
No, I heard it's so bad. That's why I've never done it.
What would you tell the government about Spirit? Like, are they just outright breaking laws on there, or what?
I'm pretty sure. Like,
it's like the pilot stole my wallet. Something like this, yeah. What would you tell the government about on an airplane? Just like people are smoking on the plane and no one did anything about it?
I don't even know. Also, I hate Ryan Airlines.
Ryan? What is that?
It was one we did in Europe. It was from London to Ireland.
Is it like the Spirit of Europe? Or
no, but they're like walking down the aisles.
Rhine, Rhine, like the Rhine River.
No, like Ryan, like a dude named Ryan. Like
Ryan, okay, yeah. Ryan Airlines. Yeah, okay, so what was so bad about it?
There's people walking up and down the airlines. They're not the airlines. The
aisles.
The aisles. There it is. That's why we have you
here. Yeah. So what happened?
Selling like scratch off tickets.
Where were you flying from?
London to Ireland.
Some degenerate gamblers over there, dude. Come on, UK. You guys are degenerates over there. Why are you selling scratch-off lottery tickets on the airplanes? Just a nation full of gambling addicts.
It was the worst.
Hey, if anybody from the UK is listening to this, can you tell us what the deal is with the gambling?
What is the deal?
The gambling addiction? Huh, that's interesting. That's like a marker for what's going on culturally in the UK. A lot of people think with like the UK, like English people, especially here in the United States, like they got the accent. So you think they're pretty sophisticated, right? Like a dude from England, you're like, ooh.
They sound sophisticated.
Yeah, they sound sophisticated. But really, if you fly on Ryan Airlines, just a bunch of degenerates. Just gambling away all their money. Like they're on the airplane, they got the last $5. They're saving it to buy a Subway sandwich when they get off the airplane.
Subway sandwich.
Also, I just want to point out one thing. All of our restaurants, a lot of our restaurants like Subway. Actually, now I'm thinking about this. I'm gonna recast what I was about to say. I just want to say there's no other countries that bring their chain restaurants to us, but our chain restaurants are everywhere. What chain restaurant do we have here that's from another country? But yet Burger Kings and McDonald's are everywhere.
You're totally right. I can't even think of any.
So we just run fast food. I don't know that that's that's something to be super proud of, but America, we run fast food, dude.
Yeah.
Worldwide.
And you know what? I think part of that was that I was talking with my friends about how America has nailed the road trip.
Oh yeah,
and I feel like fast food is kind of
It's like a road trip
It's intertwined with the whole road trip experience.
thing. That's true. That made me just think of something. So there's a guy we both know. All right. He's a really cool guy. A really good guy. Maybe he eats better now, but at the time when I was hanging out with him, he was not eating that well. And we were on a road trip together, our families. All right. And we drove by just this awful looking fast food restaurant. I forget what it was called. It was called like Heffies or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You heard of that?
Herfies?
Herfies. All right, so they got a big sign out front. It's like bag of cheeseburgers. That's what it said.
Bag of cheeseburgers?
Bag of cheeseburgers. It's like, get a whole bunch of cheeseburgers for $10.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, we were talking about we're hungry. He's like, well, there's a place right here. I'm like, I don't think we should go to that place. It looks awful. He's like, nah, come on, we'll just go there. And we pull up. I ordered something like grilled chicken sandwich, like something reasonable that you can order at a fast food restaurant. And he's like, yeah, I'll take the bag of cheeseburgers. I was like, that's funny, dude. You're not really getting a bag of cheeseburgers. Like, yeah, I'm getting a bag of cheeseburgers. And dude, he just powered down that bag of cheeseburgers on the rest of the road trip. Just grease on the bottom. And then you ever looked inside of a fast food restaurant and actually see like the people who are in there cooking? It sometimes does not make you feel great
about what you're eating.
And these people were not inspiring confidence in
you.
Just a bag of cheeseburgers, dude. It's like, yeah, I'll take the bag of cheeseburgers. That's a lot of cheeseburgers, a whole bag's worth.
So the next article is about coronavirus.
Okay.
It may have come from a bag of cheeseburgers. I would not be surprised.
What are they saying that the coronavirus came from? Do you know?
I have no idea, honestly.
So this is pretty interesting because I was talking to someone about the coronavirus.
Yeah.
And I asked them, well, how many people have died? They're like, 2,000. I'm like, 2,000? That doesn't sound like that big of a number. I think maybe 50,000 people a year die in car accidents.
Mm-hmm.
So like, why don't we care about car accidents? Like 50,000 people die every year. Who cares about the coronavirus? But it says 75,000 as of February 20th, but it seems like it's starting to spread a lot more. So much so that China is placing severe restrictions on 780 million people and instituting mass quarantines in major cities. Like, that's heavy. That's a lot of people. So if 2,000 people die from some public health issue, I guess that's like startling and worth shutting down your entire country over.
Yeah. And because 2,000, it says 2,100 of the 75,000.
Yeah.
I don't know what percentage that is, but.
What's the percentage? It's like 3 or 4%, something like that? I think something like that. Yeah. 4%.
It's not actually.
It's like 3.5%.
Not too bad, actually.
Well, I don't know what it is, but this is
here's one thing about the coronavirus that makes it so bad is that lots of people that have it don't know they have it for a while.
Right, so they walk around with it and spread it. Yeah, and spread it. But I just wouldn't have thought that 2,000 people in a country the size of China would have been something that would be considered like a major health risk worth quarantining so many people.
Yeah.
But I don't know that much about how disease spreads. It must be that if 2,000 people catch it, or if 2,000 people die and 75,000 get it, that means it's the start of like a worldwide epidemic, and you really have to take strong action. And so we were talking about Apple before. I think somewhere in here it says that Apple sells like $50 billion worth of phones in China. Chinese demand. So what did it say?
So while you find that.
Yeah. Apple made a whopping $52 billion in sales, mostly iPhones.
In China.
That's
like 20% of their.
I think it was more. I think they weren't at like 200 billion.
Oh yeah, that would be.
So like a quarter of their business is done in China. And so if everybody starts getting sick in China, they were saying like since they're quarantining people, like all the stores are shut down, like they're not selling nothing in China right now.
And their supply. That hits their supply and part of their sales.
Yeah, so much stuff gets manufactured in China.
Yeah, coronavirus is starting to hit big tech's bottom line, including Amazon and Facebook.
Yeah, so I don't know why it would hit Facebook so much. I guess they're selling it said they're selling like
VR.
Yeah, VR sets, but mostly I would imagine social media things don't get hit that bad.
Yeah,
but anything that we're manufacturing,
anything hardware.
Yeah. It's funny that everything we have gets, like, so much of what we have gets made in China.
Straight out of China.
Isn't it?
It is.
Like, we don't really need all that. So we talked about this before. We have way too much stuff. Like, we could just make it ourselves. It would be more expensive, but then we'd have less. But since it's so cheap, we're just like flooded with so much stuff.
Yeah, and that's part of the thing that this article's talking about is that the coronavirus has exposed how much really the entire world relies on China to manufacture things.
But the stuff we get, that's right, we are totally dependent on it. But like we talked about in a previous podcast, and I'm going to talk about it again because I feel strongly about it. We don't need this much stuff. I'm not saying the coronavirus is a good thing. I don't want you to take it that way because obviously it's not. It's very frightening. But I think a big reason why we have so much stuff, China makes stuff so cheap that it's so cheap you don't even think about it. You're like, $4. All right, I'll just buy it. Like I don't care. Like, or a shirt. It's like you're in Target. You're like, wow, this dress shirt. I kind of like it, but I don't know. Maybe I should think about it. You look at price tag. It's like $8. Why would I think? Why would I even think about this? I will just buy it. It doesn't matter if I ever wear it or anything. Like I will definitely just go ahead and buy this right now. So much cheap stuff. Same with toys for kids. Like it's all made in China. You don't even have to think twice. Just buy it. And then we have all this crap in our house. We started putting a bunch of Chinese made toys in garbage bags to like start to declutter our house. Yeah. We got like 10 garbage bags.
What do you do with all that stuff? Like what happens to it?
What are we going to do with it?
Yeah.
We're going to take it to a second thrift store. And some other people are going to buy it and put it in their house.
Problem is but in the end there's just all this plastic.
We don't need it. There was a funny comedian named George Carlin. Have you heard of him?
Carlin, isn't there Carlin brother?
It's not him. It's George. George Carlin. He's an old comedian, and he had this whole bit about how God actually put us all on Earth to just get plastic for him. Yeah, like our whole purpose on Earth is just God wants plastic. He can't get it himself, so we're here to just make plastic for God, something like that. Which there's a lot of plastic.
There's a ton,
and it's all made from oil.
Really?
Did you know plastic was...
I didn't know that.
Plastic is a petroleum product. It's made from oil. So a lot of the oil that we have to dig up and stuff, it's going into plastic.
Wow.
That we just don't need.
And then on top of that, oil for cars.
Imagine this, dude. I know we're going to wrap it up here, but this is our last article, right?
Yeah, this is the end.
Imagine this. We drill oil out of the ground.
Right.
All right? We get this liquid out of the ground. We put it into barrels. All right? We get a whole bunch of these barrels. We ship it over to China. China takes it into a factory and turns this oil into plastic, and then takes all this plastic and turns it into weird, like toys and stuff. Mm-hmm. All right. Then they put it on boats. They ship it back to us. It ends up in Target. You go into Target, you buy the toys, right? You give them to your kids. Yeah. For like 30 minutes, your kids are like, "Whoa, toys! Like, these are cool." Totally. And they're like, "Nah, this toy sucks. Like, I don't even like this toy. I prefer to just go outside and be in the sun and climb on stuff and run around and laugh and wrestle with my brother. I don't even like this toy." So then you take this toy and you put it in a box. I just take this long journey around the world. Now it's just sitting in this box. And then at some point you go, you know what? I need to simplify my life. So you take it out of a box, you put it into a garbage bag, then you take it to a thrift store. Then some other sucker buys it. This goes on for a while, right? Eventually, that toy ends up in a storage unit, and it just sits there for the rest of eternity. Did we really need to take the oil out of the ground in the first place and go through the whole rigmarole?
Or what's hilarious about cars, so many cars are built out of plastic now.
Is that true?
So lots of parts of it are plastic.
Oh, interesting.
So you take... Yeah, you make something out of plastic, make something out of oil, only to continually pour oil into it.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. And even cars are just an interesting case as well. Yeah. Like we talked about, so many cars being built,
tons
unnecessarily, because I know we don't use them. I know actually. So I guess one of the things with self-driving cars is that people will just like your car while you're sitting here. Like while you're working, your car will just drive itself over. It'll just do taxi service while you're hanging out.
That's good.
Which shows you we have too many cars. Like the cars we have are just sitting out there not doing anything right now.
That's true.
They're not being put to use. Anyways,
worthless.
We have an overabundance of stuff.
We definitely do.
And don't even get me started on fast food, dude. We got a lot of food. So much so that we're colonizing other people's cities with our fast food restaurants.
Fast food colonization.
We're productive people, dude. The United States is a very productive people. We produce a lot.
That's true.
Who's more productive than us? Or who's more
China.
productive? You think so?
Like as far as making stuff?
They make a lot of stuff, but who puts more stuff? Like who puts more creation out into the world? I think the United States is number one.
Oh yeah,
we create a lot, dude. We create a lot.
That's true.
Or I shouldn't say we, but I don't create anything really. But I help people create stuff. But
except for our podcast.
Oh, so that's I wonder what country does the most podcasts. It's got to be the United States.
It's got to be the United States.
That's it, dude. Because we're productive. We're productive people. Like we could be just sitting around doing nothing, but instead we're like making content,
making podcasts.
Yeah. All right, man. Anything else you want to talk about before we go?
That's it.
All right, dude. Wrap it up and zip it out. No, zip it up.
Zip it up and zip it out.